The Philadelphia Eagles select Quinyon Mitchell. Let's go!
I'm honestly utterly disgusted. I do not know how he fell that far.
He's so polished as if he's already been in the NFL.
Felt like we had a really good chance to get a first-round player at a position of need.
Ready?
Round one of last night's draft was pretty wild, with 6 quarterbacks going in the top 12 and a massive run on offensive players that went so long, it was inevitable the Birds were going to get their top pick of the defensive lot, just saying put at number 22. But the party started really minutes before the draft when Howie Roseman shocked every Philadelphia media personality by extending A.J. Brown to a 3-year, $96 million extension, makes him the highest paid wide receiver at $32 million a year in the NFL. Not only does this shut up every single media member from releasing an A.J. Brown's going to get traded take once a week during the 2024 season, but Howie gets this contract done before Justin Jefferson, before CeeDee Lamb, and before Jamar Chase. And so sure, it looks like a lot of money on paper, but the Eagles clearly had the cap space and the future cap space to get the deal done, and now they have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley all in Philadelphia for the next 3 years minimum, keeping a core weapons around Jalen Hurts during the prime of his career. And that was just the appetizer last night. That was before the draft even started. Philadelphia had pretty much already won the night. Also, shout out to the winner of the NFL draft hat. It was DeMar Buckets 10. You won. Send me a DM on Twitter or send me an email. Either way, let me know that you are the real person, and I'll get that hat sent to you very, very quickly. Also, quickly, a huge shout out to everyone for making Josh and my draft show last night the #1 most watched Eagles draft show by a mile. We put a ton of work into the production of this. I think it showed. We got a lot of great comments. We had a ton of fun. That's the goal here for both of our channels. Make the best content possible, and we're doing it all over again tonight for round 2 and 3, so be sure to go ahead and join us at about 6:45 p.m. Eastern time. Now, with the NFL draft in full swing, it's honestly been a little bit difficult for me to get fresh, hot, and healthy meals during what was, 5 hours of NFL draft coverage just last night during round 1? And so this week, I decided to give Factor a try instead of the usual 30-plus minutes I spend making my lunches and dinners. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen, and key point for me, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. And in about 2 minutes, you have a customized dinner, heated up and ready to go with no prep, cooking, or cleanup, giving me more time to work on my NFL draft shows or just have a very quick lunch outside hanging out with my 2 dogs. And I think when it comes to me, the best part about Factor is its flexibility, your ability to go ahead and just adjust the size of your order or add more meals to go ahead and feed, say, my fiance, which is obviously a new thing now for me, but also you can pause orders for a week at a time or even longer, for instance, when I'm gone on my honeymoon 2 weeks from now. All you gotta do is head to factor75.com or go down below in my description box, something down there, click the link, use promo code ThomasMott50, again, it's all down below, and you'll get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next box. That's code ThomasMott50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box while your subscription is still active. Now, when the Birds were on the clock at 22 and both the top cornerbacks in the entire draft were still on the board, even Howie Roseman had to admit that it was very, very surprising inside the Eagles' war room to have their pick of the lot.
I think it was unusual to not have action in that room. I mean, we contemplated. There were some really good players still left. We contemplated going up, but we kept going back to the fact that we felt like we had a really good chance to get a first-round player at a position of need where we were picking. Maybe a little surprising how late it took for the first defensive player to go. Probably didn't expect that.
And listen, just for those who wanted Quinyon Arnold over some guy who played at Toledo, listen, I hear you. Apparently, Quinyon himself was convinced that he was going to be an Eagle, with Rob Mattey tweeting earlier last night that all the cameras were focused on Quinyon Arnold, expecting him to be the pick. Even the crew in the jersey room had Arnold's nameplate ready to go to iron onto an Eagles jersey. But despite not having that SEC experience, can we just take a minute to understand what the Eagles are getting exactly in Quinyon Mitchell? Just straight up, the measurables themselves are absolutely insane. He once clocked in at 23 miles per hour in practice and ran that legendary 4.33 at the NFL Combine. He's the only FBS player since 2000 with 4 interceptions and 2 pick sixes in one game. He didn't commit a penalty in 2023, just 1 flag in 2022, started 40 straight games at Toledo, and can squat 555 pounds. And sure, naturally, you hear that, and your next question is, well, wait, why did a talented guy like that stay at Toledo? And honestly, his answer from the Senior Bowl was pretty darn good.
Quinyon, I'm sure you've been asked this before, so I apologize, but I'm sure NFL people every day probably ask you this here. You had a great career at Toledo. In this era of the portal, what made you just stay at Toledo?
Relationships.
What about them?
Just everybody in that building. I love everybody in that building. Got a great relationship, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes relationships are bigger than other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Money and stuff like that.
There was a moment during the pre-draft broadcast where Nick Saban was talking about Quinyon Mitchell, and he said Alabama tried to get Quinyon Mitchell to transfer, to get in the portal out of Toledo every single year he was there, and he just wouldn't do it. He wanted to stay in Toledo, and listen, Saban said this guy would have been the best cornerback on our team. But I think it was that Senior Bowl performance that truly showed that playing at Toledo didn't really matter. Like, he could go up against the best in the world and win time and time again. I mean, Daniel Jeremiah shared a really cool story last night saying that Mike Tomlin, the Steelers head coach, challenged Quinyon Mitchell to challenge himself at the Senior Bowl. So Mitchell strategically placed himself in drills so he could only face off against the top wide receivers and crushed it. And boy, he really did crush it. I mean, the tape you're seeing, it speaks for itself. He went up against some of the best receivers in the draft in Mobile, Alabama, and everyone agreed that after that week, he was very clearly the number one cornerback in this draft. And it's not just me and scouts saying that. A lot of NFL players would agree, including Chad Ochocinco.
I like the Eagles pick. Young Bull. I like Young Bull from Toledo.
Toledo, yeah.
Man,
they
listen,
needed a DB.
Hey, he's so nice too. He's so nice. I don't care nothing about him coming from Toledo. And people will talk about, oh, the competition he had to play against. Man, listen, he jumps out at you on tape. He's what I call, even though he's come out of college, he's so polished as if he's already been in the NFL.
In the end, this pick is exactly what the Eagles needed. I mean, it gives them a great problem to have right now and also a solution for the future. Mitchell should immediately push James Bradberry for a starting spot while also learning under Darius Slay. And then when Slay, who is obviously getting up there in age, leaves, Mitchell immediately anchors the outside for many, many years to come. And Quinyon, to his credit, last night told the media after the draft that he's ready to learn under Slay and James Bradberry. He'll play wherever he's needed and just wants to help Philadelphia win, like you'd hope he would say.
No, I mean, I feel like I can come in and play inside, outside. I mean, I got some vets in front of me that, I mean, I can really learn from, really soak the game up for. I mean, Darius Slay, that's somebody who I model my game after, and James Bradberry. So, I mean, it don't matter where I play. I just want to help the team. I feel like my whole life I've just been trying to demand respect. I mean, coming from a small town, coming from a small college, just wanted to demand that respect. I feel like I did that through my college career and through the pre-draft process. I mean, whatever they ask me to do, I'm willing to do it. If they want me to do this, I'll do that. If they want me to do that, I'll do this. So it really don't matter. I mean, whatever coach asks me, I'm going to give it 110% to do.
And remember, the key factor in all this is I thought Quinyon Mitchell was going to be gone by 15 at the latest. And so my expectation was the Eagles would package one of their 2 second-round draft picks, go up to 12, trade with Denver, and still land Quinyon Mitchell, and we would all been pumped. Philadelphia stays put due to the run on offensive players early in round 1. They still get Quinyon Mitchell, and then tonight, round 2, they have 50 and 53, both of their second-round draft picks, while still getting arguably the best corner and the best defensive player in this draft. And there are a lot of great guys still on the board. I mean, Cooper DeJean is still out there. Keon Coleman, wide receiver. If you believe the Eagles want to go ahead and get one, he's still there. Edgerrin Cooper, Kool-Aid McKinstry. There's a ton of great talent here in round 2. And Philadelphia, with 2 draft picks now in round 2, can trade up, maybe go get DeJean, go get Edgerrin Cooper, go get a wide receiver, or even take one of those players at 50, trade back at 53, get a third-round draft pick. It's an endless list of possibilities and shows that Philadelphia, they're set up really well to hit not only the offseason out of the park, but this draft as well. And tonight, we're going to find out exactly what they do by running the draft show over again. Myself and Josh Davis, don't be late. Join us. I think round 2 could be even more exciting than round 1, if that's actually humanly possible. We're going to have the same exact coverage, maybe even make it a little bit better tonight. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and join us for round 2 and round 3 of the NFL Draft. I'm Thomas Mott, exhausted early here on a Friday morning, but as pumped as you can be as an Eagle fan. We got our guy. I'm excited to see what Quinyon Mitchell can do. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.